Well, we have come to the last part of this course, and in this lecture, I will be trying to briefly summarize what we have discussed so far in different under different themes. And roughly, we have covered around 19 different themes in this course on ecology and society. I am sure by going through the lecture slides and at the same time the readings which are being provided, you will be able to grasp certain concepts and meanings which we have discussed, and also partly some of the case study which are being covered in the course. And we begin by looking at the brief introduction of few concepts like what is ecology, what is environment, and the difference between ecology and environment, which perhaps is often used interchangeably or maybe which represent almost the same meaning. But if you look at in depthly, ecology and environment is different, and ecology rather looks at the kind of relationship which are being shared among the animate and inanimate in the natural surroundings. Environment in a way is the natural surroundings where this animate and inanimate inhabits. And also we begin looking at the whole idea of what ecology is and what environment is within the context of sustainable development, which is first defined by the WCED. And now, why is the need for looking at ecology from different perspective? And as I said, ecology, the subject of ecology has been the area of concern mostly for the geographers, ecologists, and biologists. And in the past few decades, even within the social sciences like anthropologists and sociologists are pretty much concerned about looking at ecology and the environment in general, is mainly because there has been an increasing realization that there is an injustice which is being done to different certain sections of people in the context of development. And also we have discusses the kind of inequality which exists in the context of the distribution of resources, where only a handful really get benefit and control the resources. And we also have certain terminologies like environmental racism, where the context of North America, where the black people are being looked at or being marginalized, and the ecological needs are being seen as where the human waste are being dumped. Now, these are some of the growing concerns which have been perhaps witnessed in the past few decades, and also the kind of development policies and plannings which are being initiated mostly in the land of the indigenous people or native societies, are being seen as a new form of colonizations. Now, take any development projects like maybe mining, dam, or maybe even the construction of roads, so on and so forth. The people at the receiving end are usually the indigenous people, and their perceptions or voice are hardly being taken into account when these decisions are being made. Now, as a result of all this, the indigenous people have been marginalized, and their means of livelihood are at stake, and the resources are being used up in which they have been innately being very much embedded and connected with. So, therefore, the question or the debate of this sustainability arises, because for quite long these indigenous peoples are perceived to be sharing a pretty much harmonious relationship with nature, and as a result of all these maybe the ecological injustice which are being meted out to them, and also the kind of unequal distribution of resources, and also like the instances of environmental racism which are being witnessed. All these have in a way being clubbed together, and then the whole idea of this sustainability is being questioned. And if that is the case, what perhaps is the answer in looking at what sustainable development is? So, what are the kind of alternative which is being looked upon, and then based on the kind of studies and literatures, and mostly in the ecological anthropology, we are in a way trying to look at some of the challenges and the possibilities which are being seen in the literature. Now, we also begin by trying to look at how do we understand culture, and how does one perceive culture. The reason why this culture becomes important is because in the anthropology and under the sub-theme of cultural ecology, many studies are being conducted to understand the human nature relationship in the past generations. Now, what then is culture? As we had discussed, cultures are nothing but it is a shared ideas, and also the kind of meanings which are being attributed within the society, within that particular cultural group. And as a result of this, different kinds of behaviors are being institutionalized, and as time passes by, it becomes part of that particular cultural group. And culture can be implicit and also at the same time explicit. And as we had discussed in the symbol making processes, how does one make symbols? It is a sign, and the kind of meanings which are embedded in symbols also does have an implicit and explicit meaning. The implicit meanings are more latent, and whereas the explicit are more manifest, which is observable, and which in a way is being strongly expressed by that particular cultural group. Now, what then does cultural ecology attempts to look at and study? It normally tries to look at the way in which a group of people make sense or try to adapt with their environmental setting, and also through the use of certain kind of technology, and in terms of adjusting with their environment, or maybe by in the pursuit of their means of livelihood. And also we have this idea of this cosmology or worldview, where different cultural group has different idea or understanding of how they make sense of their environment, and through that it sort of tries to depict, and we have come across certain ways of their relationship, and also how they perceive and behave in that particular environment. And all these in a way are being institutionalized within that particular cultural rubric. Now, for instance, if you look at the cultural ecology in the context of economics. It rather tries to bring us or make sense of the kind of subsistence strategies which a particular culture group has dealt with. And in this we have this idea of how a particular culture group adapt by using certain kind of technology in making sense of not just their environment, but also through their economic practices. For instance, we have certain subsistence strategies like the hunting gathering society, for example, and also the foraging community. Now, depending on their societal or basic needs, people engage in tries to look at or how they make sense of their environment. And then Marx come up with an idea of how in primitive society people engage mostly in the ascetic mode of production, for example. Now, in ascetic mode of production, there is no concept of property, and then there is no sense of individual ownership. Now, it is more or less based on the communal, if not communitarian ideas of how they engage in making sense of their means of livelihood. Now, there are also certain constraints in the context of environment. Now, for example, maybe the population growth, and also maybe certain other environmental constraints like maybe the weather, the climatic change, so on and so forth. Now, depending on this, people tends to adapt and then make sense of their environment by engaging in different kinds of mechanisms. Now, also we have different modes of productions, as I was saying. This idea of ownership in a way has took a dramatic shift when people in the Neolithic period, when they start engaging in agriculture. In agriculture practices, as we all know, you have the evolution of this technology. At the same time, the sense of ownership has changes. As a result of this, the relationship between human and their environment, or land and forest, has also changed to a large extent. Now, moving on, we have also looked at the various strengths of human ecology. What is human ecology, and also why is there a need of human ecology, and what does human ecology in a way tries to look at. It strongly espouses this idea of looking at the how human interact with their environments. This is perhaps one of the main crux of the study of human ecology. And if you try to look at the background, there are different threats to the biodiversity. For instance, pollution, for example. We have different kinds of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, so on and so forth. The kind of waste which are usually being dumped on ocean, the river, in a way have posed a certain kind of equal reaction to the human society, and also, I mean, not necessarily to biodiversity, but the pollution of biodiversity in a way has an impact on the human population as well. And also we have these processes of urbanization. Now, it looks cool to look at the post areas and then many cities which are being coming up, but we seldom don't really give attention to the kind of consequences which causes as a result of this process of urbanization, for example. Now, with the in this process of urbanization, you can actually see how the rural populace are actually moving towards the urban spaces. Now, as a result of this, there is an increasing demand for open spaces, and also people have shunned this agriculture farming, and then they move towards the urban area, which are more engaged into trading, and the productions are mostly dependent on the industry and the factory system. Now, in that the kind of peoples heavily dependent of machines, and with the pursuit of multiplying their production has in a way caused serious impact and consequences to the biodiversity as well. And as there is an increasing pace of this urbanization, or maybe the expansion of cities, and as a result there is an increasing demand for resources, like for instance the wood, the timbers, for building different kind of infrastructure. And as a result of this, there is these consequences of this deforestation, and the farming practice also has changed to a large extent, because earlier people were engaged mostly in using simple technology and engaging in subsistence agriculture modes of production. But as a result of this, the influence of this urbanization at the same time, maybe with the idea of this capitalist, the intrusion of this capitalist mode of production, people tends to engage in using different kind of technology by not more or less not taking into account the kind of adaptability to that particular environment, and they start engaging using different kinds of fertilized chemicals, so on and so forth, which in a way is not really sustainable in the long run. Now, here also we come across the idea of this sustainability, the question how we tries to address this process of this sustainability. Is it these practices really sustainable enough, keep aside their threats to the biodiversity? Now, if you look at these human activities for the past generation, in a way also has posed certain kind of a deep scar or danger to the kind of environment, because humans are exposed to those kind of harmful impact and effects to the different environment. Now, human ecology also tries to look at the kind of how investigating the individuals or the individual society to interrelate with nature and with their environment. Now, if you look at the kind of human environment interactions, now for instance there are modes of adaptation to a particular space. Now, despite this, there is an increasing realization that human in a way has posed a certain kind of consequences or danger to the environment. Now, for instance, if you look at the Chicago school, the human community or the human population became the central concern, because the Chicago School of Thought regarded human community as a part of the subsocial and the subcultural entity, and which also belongs to the natural order, like for example the biotic plant and the animal communities. Now, in human ecology, if you look at the classical Chicago school has in a way come up with two different trends of understanding this human ecology, and they develop two different theoretical approaches in trying to understand human ecology. The first one is environmental determinism. Now, what is environmental determinism? It is a deterministic approach which assigns one factor as a dominant influence in explanation, And environmental determinism in a way is based on the assumption that cultural and natural areas are coterminous, because culture represents an adaptation to the particular environment. Now, therefore, these environmental factors in a way determine human social and cultural behavior. So, it does not really tries to draw a boundary nor try to segregate and differentiate between the two, because the human behavior, the cultural practices, or maybe even the economic practices, or maybe the subsistence strategies are to a large extent being influenced by the environment. Now, therefore, this idea of determinism in a way emphasis on the philosophical position that people had about their relationship between man and nature. Now, it tends to look at in a more critical manner the kind of relationship which is being shared between man and nature. And environment determinism also looks at how the human conditions are being defined by this determinism. In other words, the human behaviors, for example, like the lifestyles and the economy of living are pretty much conditioned by the environment. Now, therefore, this determinism in a way gives a maximum emphasis on the value of nature. Now, therefore, man can't afford or really stay out of the influence of nature. Now, in contrast, this free will approach lays emphasis on human capacity and potential, the potential to adapt, at the same time make use of the resources. It holds that man has a free will capacity to challenge and change the power of nature. Now, for example, like the storm, the flood, drought, etc. Now, humans have that capacity of, in a way, to modify this force of the environment through the use of technology. Now, perhaps from the Western rationalist point of view, science and technology in a way is capable enough to encounter, if not meet any kind of the environmental challenges. They are being guided by this idea. Now, here comes the importance of the human consciousness, that is, which signifies man's active involvement in the management of the environment. Now, on the other hand, environmental positivism in a way asserted that while the environment did not directly cause specific cultural developments, the presence of absence or this specific environment in a way place limits on such development by either permitting or forbidding their occurrences. Now, for example, as I had already discussed in the lectures on human ecology, that for instance, the island peoples could be seafarers, but residents of, for example, like the Inner Mongolia might not be so, because of the inhabitants of the temperate regions might practice agriculture, but those living in Arctic latitudes could not. Now, over here you have this idea of how this notion of this positivism in a way took place. Now, as we had also discussed what the American anthropologist L. Kroeber talks about in the context of Northwestern America, that which adopt the practice of these maize agriculture from their southern neighbors, because of the frost free growing season in the region was shorter than the 4 months required for the maize plants to reach maturity. Now, their environment does limited the ability of their culture to evolve in an agriculture direction. Now, a positivist stance was perhaps also being taken by the British historian Arnold Toynbee in his multi-volume, which we had discussed in the study of history, and in which he had argued that the development of civilizations could be explained in terms of their responses to environmental challenges. Now, we have two different trends of looking at, that is the environmental determinism and the other is the environmental possibilism. Now, in the ecological anthropology, we had also discussed how this idea is being influenced by the works of Charles Darwin, that is the origin of species. And we had also discussed that Charles Darwin in a way was being influenced by the works of Malthus in his Essay on Population. What Malthus has actually argued was, with the increasing rise of human population, it in a way posed a certain kind of not really threat, but then it posed a certain kind of anxiety to the available resources, because as the population increases, there is an increasing realization that the resources might not really be sufficient enough to meet the needs of the increasing population. So, there will be a certain kind of imbalances. Now, there is also different ways of looking, for example, the ethnoecology, how a particular communities share different kind of thoughts and understanding about their ecology, and in that they have different practices, for example, the subsistence strategies as we had discussed. Now, increasingly there has been an attention being paid to this approach called ethnoecology, where the certain kind of beliefs, not just their ideas, everything which a particular community has to a particular environment or ecology is to be looked at. Now, why is there is an increasing the idea, the relevance of this ecological anthropology? Now, ecological anthropology, if you look at today, is pretty much relevant to the contemporary concerns with the state of this general environment, because anthropological knowledge has in a way the potential to inform and instruct humans about how to construct a sustainable ways of life. Remember, the sustainable or sustainability should in a way be the starting point of this particular course. Now, biological diversity again is necessary for the adaptation and survival of all species. Now, cultural diversity may serve a similar role for the human species, because it is clearly one of our most important mechanism to adaptation. Now, therefore, in ecological anthropology, culture is also given utmost emphasis and importance, and this new perspective in a way considers the role of the physical environment in cultural change in a more sophisticated manner than environmental determinism. And ecological anthropology is also a reaction to idealism, which is the idea that all objects in nature and experience are representation of the mind. Now, we had also looked at how the cultural materialism was developed by Marvin Harris, and in cultural materialism it tries to look at how human engage in using different kinds of strategies in terms of their means of production. And Roy Rappaport also construct three particular processes or concepts, that is, the first one is neo-functionalism, and this term in a way represents a productive but short-lived beginning from the 1960s, and neo-functionalism in a way attends explicitly to the modeling of system level interactions, especially negative feedback, and assigns primary importance to techno-environmental forces, especially environment, ecology, and the population. And within this neo-functionalism, culture is reduced to an adaptation, and functional behaviors are homeostatic and deviation counteracting and also serving to maintain the system at large. Now, neo-functional well-being is measured in tangible currencies such as population density that relate to fitness as in evolutionary biology processes. Now, the second one, that is the carrying capacity, again is the number of individuals in habitat that can support. That is, if we go by the Malthusian theory, that is, if the population increases, it multiplies, it in a way will pose a threat to the carrying capacity of that particular geographical area or space. This idea is related to population pressure, referring to demands of population of the resources of its ecosystem. If the technology of a group shift, then the carrying capacity changes as well. An example of the application of carrying capacity within anthropology is demonstrated in Rappaport's study of the Sembaga marine, which we have extensively talked about in the context of the Sembaga marine in trying to look at how this carrying capacity actually functioned. Now, in this we also in a way try to look at the kind of how different functions in a way look at. Now, among the Sembaga community, there are two modes of function, that is latent function and manifest function when a pig is being sacrificed. Now, a latent function in a way is explicitly stated and recognized or intended by the people involved in it, thus they are able to be identified by the observer. Now, for example, for in the the rituals of those sacrificing the pig, the latent function of the sacrifice is the presence of too many pigs, while its manifest function is the sacrifice of pigs to the ancestor. Now, this manifest function is rather explicitly stated and understood by the participants in the relevant action. Now, it is here important also to look at the kind of looking at the cultural core which is developed by Julian Stewart. Now, in culture core, it is the people, that is the kind of perception or ideas or knowledge which they have becomes important. Now, moving ahead, there are two ways of models which are developed within the ecological anthropology. That is, the first one is the ecosystem model of human ecology, and the second is the actor based model. Now, what then is the ecosystem based model? Now, the American anthropologists Andrew Wadia and Roy Rappaport in a way suggested that instead of studying how cultures are adapted to the environment, attention should be rather focused on the relationship of specific human population to the specific ecosystem. Now, as we had at length discussed about Rappaport's understanding or contribution towards ecological anthropology, not just in the sacrificing of the pigs for the ancestor, but also religion in the making of humanity, and how richer religion in a way are all responsible in trying to make sense of the environment. Now, in their view, these human beings constitute simply another population among the many populations of plants and animal species that interact with each other and with the non-living components, for example, the climate, soil, water of their local ecosystem. Now, if you again looked at this, the actor model of human ecology. This actor based model of human ecology has become a major new wave in human ecology, that is, adaptations occurs at the level of individuals rather than the cultures or populations. Earlier, when we discuss in the ecosystem based model, the culture becomes important, but in the actor based model, it is the individual which is given a priority and importance. Now, this model reflects both anthropological concerns with individual decision making processes and also the evolutionary biology's current preoccupation with showing that natural selections operates exclusively at the level of individual organism. Now, this perspective in a way tends to look at the human social system, the communities, the ecosystem, which exists only as the fortuitous outcome of interaction among many individual organisms. Now, therefore, this theory is concerned with the general properties of the structures and functions of system as such, rather than within their specific contents. Now, moving on, we try to also look at the nature culture debate, and how is nature perceived and how is culture perceived, because there are differing notions of trying to perceive and understand what nature and what culture is. Nature in a way is the physical setting where the plants, animals, so on and so forth in its natural surrounding. In a way, the naturalism is pretty much exhibit here. Culture rather is something which changes, and the kind of notion, belief, perceptions, behavior, so and so are being practices within a cultural group. Now, the nature and culture divide in a way has emerges at certain point of time. Now, for instance, prior to the Renaissance period, this idea of othering or keeping aside this nature different from culture was not really prevalent, but the post from the period of Renaissance, this idea of othering the nature or the dichotomy or the binary which exists between nature and culture has emerges, and culture in a way is to be located or seen from the ecological niche, because within that particular ecological space, culture is being established in terms of the kind of behavior and then action which are being embedded in that particular culture community. Now, symbol in a way is sort of an expression in terms of relating with that particular environment by using certain kind of signs, and it sort of represents and denotes that particular cultural group. Now, how does the anthropologist in a way perceive a difference between nature and culture, or does it see nature and culture as something different? This was something which we had strongly tried to look at and then discusses by taking different viewpoints of the anthropologists, and within this, what makes culture so much distinct is because human in a way have that sort of imaginings, and this idea in a way has enabled human to develop, and even if you look at the kind of the evolutionary theories or the stages of human evolution, which move on from simple to complex and then to a much more complex society. Now, therefore, in each and every stages of human evolution, we come across certain kinds of culture which are being embedded in that. Now, why has nature been looked at as a contested concept? Now, the critique of culture and this plurality of this nature is being looked at, for example, like the works of Latour and then so much and others, and then how they tries to establish nature as something which is different, and is how human tries to develop certain kind of relationship with nature. Now, if you look at this the materialistic conception of history, perhaps Marx had stated that human engaged in the first form of action was through their means of livelihood, like for example agriculture. Now, in agriculture practices, man enters into a relationship with nature so as to not just primarily for their means of livelihood, but through that they enter into certain kind of the materials aspect of human. Now, Marxian approach also tries to look at how human and nature in a way the relationship has been transformed, because as a result of this the industrialism or the capitalist mode of production, nature is seen to be which can be subdued and then which can be exploited in order to satisfy the needs of human, because nature is no more seen to be or perceived to be sharing a harmonious relationship with human, but rather as something which can be in a way exploited in order to satisfy the needs of human. Now, therefore, the kind of modernization process which takes place in a way has changed altogether the idea and the picture of human and nature relationship. Now, if you look at the natural and the supernatural binary oppositions, now there are different modes of categorization. Now, for example, the totemic belief and the animist system. Now, in totemism, people tends to share certain kind of relationship with nature by espousing that certain kind of plants or animals in a way represent that particular cultural group, and that way that sort of the understanding or the perception of this the prevalence of this supernatural again is prevalent in the animist system. Now, this kind of these conceptions of nature has evolved over a period of time. Now, with the coming of the Western rational thinking, now what is also known as the Cartesian anxiety, which we had discussed. Now, this idea of the ecological relationship and the social practices of human has evolved, and this conception has changes, and so is our attitudes and behavior towards nature. Now, as we all know, human is a choice making species in a sense, because for example, if you take the example of the foraging community like the hunting societies, they in a way evolve by adapting to the environment by using different strategies in terms of hunting, and we have this process of enculturation or enskillment. Now, if you look at the works of the Tim Ingold in that dwelling perspective which we talk about, now the hunting societies also share certain kind of relationship with the environment by making a rightful choice of which animal to hunt and in what particular type of season. and this sort of strategy can be in a way stated as a rational choice. Now, this choice in a way is being managed and then adaptable with the kind of changes in the environment as well. Now, therefore, even in the foraging community, the humans are in a way guided by this reason, and therefore, nature becomes sort of an agent of selections, because humans are pretty much now influenced by the kind of the natural surroundings. Now, there is this idea of different notions or paradigms in these human environmental relations, that is the idea of this Orientalism, paternalism and communalism. Now, over here I will just try to emphasize more on communalism, because in communalism the sense of private ownership or individual ownership was not present, and therefore, this idea of society was more egalitarian, and there was no sense of this hierarchy. Now, in a way, if you recall, when we discussed about social ecology by Murray Bookchin in a way tries to address the environmental problems which we are facing now is pretty much embedded in the human society, because these are perhaps the human problems, because he tries to by bringing in the kind of hierarchy which exists between different sections of the society, and this hierarchy in a way is responsible for the kind of environmental crisis which we are facing. Now, if you look at the kind of relationship people share with their land, or the in terms of the economy of livelihood, it will be interesting to look at the kind of the spirit of communalism which exists perhaps in the not really the primitive society, but in many of the societies even in the contemporary period, like the indigenous communities. Now, which we will come had at length discusses while we were talking about the idea of this indigenous knowledge, traditional ecological knowledge, which were pretty much embedded in the indigenous community, and how it is different from the formal or the Western knowledge. Now, therefore, this human environmental relationship also to be located, because this idea of this paternalism, of how, for example, the idea of this colonialism emerges in terms of intruding into the premises of the indigenous people, and as a result of that, this whole notion of perceiving the environment also changes to a large extent. Now, again, how does we make sense of the environment by picking up the kind of relationship between, maybe let us say the influence of culture, magic, so on and so forth. Now, for instance, why does a particular community perform a certain kind of magic, and what does this witchcraft, magic or oracles mean to those practicing, those communities who are practicing it. Now, it is sort of an idea of this ethnoscience, that is the emigenetic distinctions which sort of emerges. Now, they in a way perceive believe in the existence of these supernatural powers, and nature in a way has to be sort of familiarized by using certain kind of magics and spells. Now, for instance, in magics or in the practices of witchcraft, certain kinds of spells are being made, like for instance, the incantations, the words. If you look at in certain case studies, you will in a way tries to look at the kind of how those spirits are being worshipped or sort of being appeased. Now, appeasement is again to bridge the gap between the natural world and the human world. Now, therefore, this appeasement in a way is sort of a practice of reverence, giving certain kind of respect, or maybe seeking certain kind of maybe forgiveness, permission, so on and so on, depending on the nature of what is being done. Now, therefore, all these are being practices in order to make sense of to establish a cordial relationship with nature. Now, which will be different from the Western science, and then perhaps all these practices are being categorized as irrational and which are based on mythical beliefs. Now, we had also discussed at length about the idea of knowledge in the context of Levi-Strauss in his work The Savage Mind. Now, Rappaport also strongly advocated about the kind of ritual practices in the Sembega community, to what extent or why is that the pigs are being slaughtered, and what does that symbolize and signifies to those communities. One thing is, if you look at from the ecosystem model, for example, it in a way fulfill the demands of the or bridge the gap between the culture and the environment, because it in a way allows the Sembega community to form a certain kind of sustainable mode for bringing out or rearing the pigs. Now, from an actor point of view, it can be said that that particular practices is a sign of masculinity, because those who are able to rear a number of pigs are able to engage in that. Now, from the works of Durkheim, that is in his elementary form of religion or religious life, he strongly talks about the utmost importance of a society, because the individual is just a subset of the society, and the society in a way frames certain kinds of rules to be followed by the individual. Therefore, religion in a way is being created by the society, and it is the individual which abide by the or tends to conform within this. And Durkheim also tries to depict the earliest form of religious practice like totemism, animism, so on and so forth. Now, in these ritual practices, it is also interesting to see the interplay of this a form of a theater, like wherein the performer in a way is to be the idea behind this performing is to be encoded by those observer. It is something sort of to be seen as a mode of communication between the two parties. Now, ritual regulation and environmental relations are pretty much embedded and evident in the context of the ritual cycles of the Sembega community in New Guinea, and perhaps you can refer the books of Roy Rappaport. That is, the first one is Ritual and Religion, the Making of Humanity, and the second one is Pigs for the Ancestors. So, it will be evident enough to look at how one makes sense of religion. Now, subsequent to that, we had also discussed the three forms of religion, and then this particular works are being picked from a particular book called Religion in under the theme of this religion and environmental crisis. Now, the question is, why is that religion given a center stage or importance in this environmental crisis? It is because it is through religion that one tends to be influenced, and with the kind of teachings one engages with, or the kind of scriptures one reads with, it entails certain kinds of the way they behave and they share a relationship with nature is to be seen and inculcated. Now, we begin by looking at Lynn White's work on the historical roots of our ecological crisis by tracing the history of how this ecological crisis has been looked at. Now, he tries to juxtapose between the medieval period and then the Christian worldview. And during the medieval period, there was nothing as such. The relationship between man and nature was pretty much cordial, and there's no much of a binary which exists in terms of relationship with man and nature. But as a result of this, the intrusion of the Judeo-Christian worldview, man tends to be guided by these anthropocentric ideas of looking at nature. That is, man perceive themselves to be at the center of the all the great creations, and then how they are being at the middle, and they have that kind of overriding powers against other creations. Now, this sort of anthropocentric ideas in a way is responsible for, because it allows the humans to have a certain kind of overriding power against other species. And also we had discussed the certain precepts which come under the Buddhist teaching in terms of the biodiversity conservation, ethics in Buddhism. Now, in Buddhism, in the Buddhist teachings, because it has different ideas of how forests should be conserved, because forests are homes to the early Buddhist priest and or the monks. Now, therefore, one should like care and nurture the forest, because they are home to the human aspect, and also to show certain kinds of kindness and caring towards the animals and plants. And also it doesn't limit to plants and animals, but also to the water bodies, because water should be kept clean. So, there are different teachings which were discussed within the Buddhist precepts and teachings, and how Buddhism in a way is to be seen in the context of the conservation of nature. And even within the Hinduism, that is this which is influenced by the doctrine of this ahimsa or non-violence, that the animals and plants should not be harmed. So, perhaps we also looked at the idea of how the nature is to be perceived, and we had also discussed the Bishnoi community, which again was influenced by this idea of non-violence, and then the Bishnois communities are perhaps the first to sort of in the contemporary India that they tends to succeed in conserving a forest. So, these are something which are again guided by their strong commitment and their perception towards nature in a way is enabling them to conserve and preserve the nature. Now, we had discussed three main ethics within the environment, or the environmental ethics, or the environmental philosophy, and some of the debates which hover around in a discussion was the idea of this wilderness thinking, or the kind of binaries which exist among the preservationists or biocentric against the imperial or utilitarian or anthropocentric. Now, this idea of this scientific industrialism in a way has allowed the philosopher like Arne to come up with a deep ecological thinking, and to establish or bring out what could perhaps be the alternative in trying to address the environmental problems which we are in a way witnessing. Now, therefore, Arnines come up with this kind of a new form of philosophy called ecosophy or eco-philosophy. Now, in that what he says is the first and foremost is to have a critical or and in-depth awareness about oneself, or self-realization is perhaps the starting point. Now, only by understanding oneself, then you can in a way address or relate yourself to the environment. Now, deep ecology again is guided by this idea of biocentrism, that is, human is part of the ecosystem, that is, human is not seen as above nature, but they are just part and parcel of the the ecosystem. Therefore, it is against this idea of shallow ecology. Now, for example, the idea of this, for example, pollution. In shallow ecology, pollution is seen as which in a way is harmful to the health and so problems for human. These are more or less an elitist or the northern idea of, or the Western notion of understanding pollution, but pollution again should be addressed and understood by not just addressing the problems, but perhaps what are the causes of this pollution. So, one needs to restructure and tries to reconfigure by trying to look at what this idea of this understanding of the ecology is. Now, we had also talked about how Nash was influenced by this Gandhian ethics of ahimsa, and the kind of how humans should be dependent and on the available resources. Now, Nash in a way has also talked about the catchy the term phrase which he come across in the interview, that simple in means and rich in ends. Also to some extent talks about what Gandhi in a way always strongly talk about. For instance, the world has enough resources to meet the needs of humans, but not the greeds of but not their greeds. So, in a way, people should be increasingly engaged in trying to fulfill their basic needs rather than trying to accumulate and exploit the resources in order to accumulate, or this idea of market or capitalism should be shunned. Now, he has in a way strongly talked about the exploring about the simplicity of life. Now, social ecology again is addressing about the ecological problems, and in this Murray Bookchin again tries to locate the human nature, because human in a way is perhaps responsible for this the environmental changes which in a way is produces by man. Now, this domination of nature also should be seen in the context of the the idea of dominating nature, which in a way emerges as a result of the social structure or the society which we are in. Now, he also talked about the idea of male domination, this idea of this masculinity, that is how women are perceived to be a weaker sex, and then they needs to be protect, or they needs to be tamed. So, this sort of perceptions which develop in society in a way also has a far-reaching impact on the way we perceive nature, that is how the domination of nature emerges. Now, what Bookchin also talks about in the industrial capitalist class was the grow or die, that is a deep thought kind of competition, that is, if one has to at all survive, so which means they need to progress and move on. So, in a way those who don't progress should perish, and they don't have really a say or a place in this the market oriented kind of society. Now, by saying so, he tends to perceive this idea of colonialism, so on and so forth, as something which is also responsible for the environmental crisis. And Bookchin in a way developed this social ecology not just as to unearth the problems, but also it is a universal appeal not only for a moral regeneration, but also for certain kind of social reconstruction among along the ecological lines. Now, similar to what we had discussed in social ecology, that is this idea of domination of nature, in ecological feminist philosophy, we also look at the kind of connection which shares between feminism and environment, that is the structure of domination which are being shared to the empirical and experiential ideas by different scholars, and how this religion in a way can perhaps bring an answer to this idea of problem, that is by resacralization of nature. Now, I mean human and nature are also, or the relationship or the idea of domination of nature is also different in the Western context and in the Indian context. And we had also discussed at length about the Chipko environment conservation movement, which perhaps was the first eco-feminist movement in India. Now, we had at length discussed how this idea of the male-centric ideas are in a way responsible for these problems, and eco-feminist or the ecological feminist philosophy is guided by this to come out of this crux of this the patriarchal mindset. Now, indigenous knowledge and traditional ecological knowledge tries to separate two different worldview, that is of the bricolier and the scientist, based on the works of Levi-Strauss, that is the idea of concrete and science. We tend to look at how perceiving, the possession of this bricolier is nothing but a differing attitudes or a different thought of possessing knowledge, that is they are able to use the available resources. A bricolier is often perceived to be a handyman, that is which utilize the tools at hand, and it should not be perceived in such a way that those who have that kind of knowledge should be seen as savage or uncivilized, but rather it happens to be at a different point of time or a different world together, and then in which they have their own ways of making sense of or possession of knowledge, and which is being utilized in a different perspective. And we had also discussed about the idea of life projects, which is embedded in the social memory and history, and how these knowledge are being embedded in the kind of the land, forest, and the environment. And in this context, it is important to locate the discourse of this development in relationship with the indigenous people. Therefore, this kind of relationship which is shared by the indigenous people is not just about the means of economic or practices, but it also entails to the idea of cultural identity, or how their identity is being establishes. Therefore, indigenous knowledge has to be looked at in that local context or local premises. Now, in traditional knowledge and natural resource management, we had looked at the work of P.S. Ramakrishnan in his seminal work on One Sun, Two Worlds, an ecological journey, wherein one has the traditional wisdom and one is guided by the formal knowledge that is of the scientists. Now, the ecological journey is nothing but an evolving eco-philosophy, that is between the traditional knowledge and formal knowledge, how two different viewpoints or two different sets of worldview is being framed. And within that, it is important to look at the interconnectivity between the ecology and the social system, how these agriculture practices are not simply economic, but also it is a socio-cultural and a way of life by those who are practicing it, because it has a strong animist belief system which are interwoven into it, and so is their idea of this conservation of forests, which are being based on the traditional farming system. Now, in this it is important to see that how these traditional farming system are in a way able to bring in this idea of agroforestry, which Ramakrishnan has strongly pointed out, and then in which he sees that in fact these communities are the ones who have conserved the nature in a way, in a much more better way. Now, we had also delved upon the debates on shifting cultivation, and with the questions such as, is it a form of sustainable natural resource management? We had also discussed this meanings and methods which are involved in shifting cultivation, and the various debates beginning from the colonial period, and trying to look at how the present forest policies are still being influenced by these the colonialist perception towards nature, and how their idea of are being guided by this instrumental, if not utilitarian perspective of looking at or addressing the issues or problems of dooming, which in a way is seen to be responsible for deforestation, or if not the environmental problems. Now, therefore, there are differing viewpoints, and even within social sciences like the economists and others have a different viewpoint, whereas the anthropologists and the sociologists has different viewpoints, wherein they inject the sociocultural practices which are pretty much embedded in this idea of dooming practices. Therefore, one needs to come out of this misconception and tries to look at the feasibility of shifting cultivation, because the imposition of changes or finding an alternative way by simply uprooting or by simply moving from like zooming to the terrace or wet rice cultivation perhaps seems to be not really a viable option, or not sustainable in the long term, or it is not really an answer to this. Therefore, one needs to reframe this idea of misconception. Now, finally, we had also talked about the kind of ecological knowledge, the idea of subsistence and livelihood practices in the context of the indigenous Kuki peoples, which are largely concentrated in northeast India, and then my study looks at how the social history of these particular people in terms of their relationship with land, and then the kind of farming practices they have involved, the kind of worldview they have, the kind of rituals and ceremonies which they practices in terms of establishing certain kind of connections and their relationship with their environment, and their connections to their land and forest by the practices of rituals which are usually performed in agriculture practices like zooming. Now, the question is how these people before the advent or before the shift of their religion, that is to Christianity, I mean the way back in the late 19th century and early 20th century, their perception towards nature and then their connections to their land and forest or environment has taken a dramatic shift. but my idea or my study over here is based on the pre-Christian beliefs and their practices. Therefore, one can in a way establish that they were in a way at certain point of time were engaged in a sustainable mode of subsistence, or maybe or sustainable in terms of the environmental issue. Now, therefore, we have discussed at length beginning from the various concepts and meanings of nature, culture, the debates around the kind of contradictions which, and also how religion in a way plays an important role in the life of human communities, and also the kind of environmental philosophies which are developed by a certain kind of scholars, and also looking at the historicity of shifting cultivation, and looking at the context of the indigenous Kuki people. We are able to in a way address or looked at the kind of the various trends, the challenges, the problems which are being addressed in the course Ecology and Society. I have just given a brief summary of the course on Ecology and Society, and we have roughly touched upon different around 19 themes within this, and I am sure I am able to briefly summarize each and every content. I might not be very in depth to that extent, but for us to have a glimpse of what we have discusses in this lecture series. And with this we come to the end of this course, and I am hopeful that you will have a much more wider understanding about the ecology and society, its challenges, the problems, and the kind of ideas which are, or theories or approaches which are embedded within it. By saying so, I am not saying that this one particular approach might be sufficient for this course, but it is just only one part, and primarily from the ecological, anthropological point of view and sociological point of view. Thank you.